Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Rational Investors Daily Brief Recap. A nice long session today in our daily brief with Kavarkinator. Let's see, are we on YouTube? Recap! Yay. So, whenever Kevin comes on the call, it's always a lot of fun. Telling us about banging out doubles and new ideas that he's sniffing out. Tell you a couple of his ideas here today. I'm almost tempted to just go and buy them right now. But I don't know. I mean, you see the breadth indicator here. I got to be very careful here. In fact, I really don't even want to buy anything right now. I do see market is sort of zipping up, and of course, as markets pop up, make damn sure to pay yourself. But what I'm really worried about here is, for heaven's sakes, people, don't chase, don't chase, don't chase, don't chase. We'll talk about it in a bit, I was actually selling stock yesterday into a promotion by a social media influencer. I'm more than happy to sell into pumps, and if anything, I sure hope these people don't get caught chasing. It's just a potion for disaster, I tell you. Anyway, slow and steady wins the race. Just make sure to identify what your risk is before you enter any trades. Sometimes what I see happen here is people come in and buy something and they don't realize how much risk is involved. And it's like, oh boy. I might argue actually coming in on the long side on a lot of crypto and stuff like that right now. If you actually look at the risk, it's like, whew. So anyway, caveat emptor, buyer beware. It's the end of the summer too, so you're going to get a lot of low liquidity, violent moves. And something here on this image bothers me immensely. I don't know whether you guys can see this, but we have stock market up, crude oil market up, bond market up, gold market up. Something's not right here. Who knows how this is all going to play out. And I think I've even said half jokingly that I wouldn't be surprised by the end of 2020. The entire investment community's completely lost interest in listening to clowns like me, because I'm going to be like, be conservative, go slowly, make sure to protect your ass, try and hunt M's and W's, have 3 unrelated reasons for justify taking a risk. And you're going to say, well, Brian, the gold market's just going straight up. Why do I need to bother listening to you? Just go and buy it. All right, fine. A lot of people learned a really, really bad lesson about just going and blindly buying the Bitcoin bull market through 2017 and having to go through the unwinding the following year. My hunch is probably exactly the same thing is going to happen here. If you happen to pick a market that's moving in your direction and in your favor, hats off. Trend is your friend. But I'll tell you, usually what ends up happening after a market's moved a long way, and then, of course, the public comes in all excited on the buy side, usually there's heartache to follow. But like I said, with 2017, I had to sit there for literally a whole year. In fact, I remember Kevin and I don't know whether it was 2016 or 2017. I think it was, anyway. I remember we sat in like the middle of February and nobody was interested in the market at all through that. And he and I were just pouring through charts, looking for double bottoms in the altcoin, 50% retracement, blah, blah, blah. And, obviously what happened through 2017, once we sort of got into this late spring, Bitcoin was up around $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 into the summer. At that point, there really wasn't any point in talking logic. Cost of production was substantially lower. So value, but just try talking logic to anybody. 4,000, 5,000, 6,000, 7,000, 8,000. That kept going and going and going. I got a funny feeling we're in one of those kind of environments with the gold market here. So, enjoy it. Make hay while the sun's shining. Yeah. Like I said, everything all moving up in unison, that's a bad sign unto itself. So, interesting how US dollar index dead cat bounced off of its, what I would consider short-term support, and the general sentiment in the investment world is the US dollar's heading down. Unfortunately, I think that's sort of like looking through the rear view mirror and not thinking forward. Candle body people, that's actually an engulfing bar for candle body people. I would have preferred that we actually closed above these levels, and if we had closed above this level, I would have been like, holy shit, key reversal, ah! But as it stands right now, I think in the short term, we just simply call this dead cat bounce. We probably should come down, candle body lows for trade location, that kind of conversation. The market right now is thinking US dollar is trending down. Some hunches, things like gold and silver and all those kind of crazy markets. They're probably going to go through a blow off top as we go through this process. If we do W out here, then I think they're trapped. If, however, we melt down, and you don't know what the hell's going to happen in this world, maybe we lose this level in earnest, then they're vindicated, and I think all hell could break loose in the market. We'll see what happens. Only time will tell. Very tough time to make serious, rational, reasoned investment decisions right now. The market is all over the place. I thought it was interesting that we pointed out how Bitcoin hit its chaos levels off of its original bottom from last spring, and we've got this chaos level sitting on the S&P 500, which I think is just so apropos. The chaos level is literally sitting 13 points higher than the all-time high. So that gives them the permission to go and take out the old highs. Why does that say 314? High 3397, 3393, 3369. Yeah, so I'm not quite sure why that says 314 there. I guess maybe what I did was I was going to draw it off of that level there. My hunch is we're probably going to go up and play against this trend line from the downside right into there. And, I find this really disappointing because it's so cliche. Everybody said that this was going to happen, and it's exactly what's happening. Is all the cronies, the bullshit, going and diluting the fuck out of the currency to prop this thing up. And you know who came out yesterday with the NASDAQ trading at new highs, which it really isn't. It's nowhere near new highs. But you know who comes out and says, look at me, thank me, NASDAQ's at new highs. If you vote for the other guy, you'll never see this. I hate that stuff. But long and short of it here, obviously the 1%, this is their plan, and they're taking the market up. Full disclosure, I am very interested in accumulating puts, and actually Kevin talked about a lot with the community. We did go and buy some puts here, obviously with the market moving to new highs. They're underwater. They're March options. I'm not in a big hurry, and I'll probably be buying a few more up in this window as well. So just be aware of that. It's the same sort of thing. I buy puts as insurance. I talked to you guys about buying Bitcoin puts, obviously, and Ethereum puts. Obviously, through this run-up, I look like an idiot. If we start melting down and this is the top, well, then Brian looks smart. Whatever. Point here is I just like to cover my ass a little bit because I think this market has moved up way too far, way too fast. But so what? Like I tell you, I don't tell you guys what to buy and sell. What I do is I just tell you what I'm doing with my money. So I'm showing you how I professionally lose money. But actually I'm doing pretty good. My account's actually up quite a bit. So hopefully what I'm doing is I'm showing you how I can professionally manage my portfolio. Speaking of which, we strapped on our third short attempt on crude, and you can see they've rallied it right back up to the top end of the range. So maybe we're going to get stopped out here. I do find it interesting that Kevin, for instance, today, one of his stocks that he really liked is an oil service stock. And some of the oil stocks are actually looking quite uppy. He was pointing out, hey, Brian, you do realize there are W's coming in on a lot of these oil indexes? And I'm like, yeah, but I hate oil. It's dirty. It's the 20th century story. And he's like, I don't care what your opinion is, Brian. I trade setups. I want to make money from trading. So he's going to take advantage of this bull market. Well, he's going to leave Brian in the dust. What was that one that you were touting today, Kevin? SSC something? So I got to tell you, it's a pretty good looking chart. I don't know. Do you feel like saying anything to these good people today?
It wasn't oil though, the SCAC or
No, it was the oil shipping stock.
that's that TMP.
TNP? Was that what it was?
Yeah,
I mean, look at that chart, everybody. I mean, right down at the bottom end of the range, you can see the divs trying to come in here. Willie's nice and stupid, you know. So, if I was a smart guy, I think I'd probably should go grab some of that. And what's interesting is, look at this. And I didn't even realize this before. If we actually close here today, what is that bar? That's an outside, upside, bullish engulfing bar. If they actually close it above this high, what's that high there? 907. That's only, 16 cents away. That would be a key reversal. Son of a bitch. So, actually, it was kind of interesting. Before we started today, I was kind of like, I don't know what to talk to these people about. I mean, what the heck? And now, all of a sudden, there's an idea for you to chew on. So thank you, Kevin. You helped me today. And you didn't even know it. Anyway, to a certain degree, I'm kind of left scratching my head. But we'll just sort of keep following along. I don't know how many attempts this is going to take until we hit 50% level. But this actually should probably be a really, really good, sort of nice little walkthrough tutorial. How many times does it take? You know, and this is often why they say don't try and catch a falling knife. In this case, a rising knife. Because you're going to get stuck. Stuck. Am I going to get stuck again? Jerks. Anyway, it is what it is. It's been a fun exercise, and we'll just keep doing this. There was one gentleman who was watching the free YouTube page, and he was like, this is a really cool example. It's great to watch you lose money, Brian. Awesome. Which is totally fine. I don't really mind this, because keep in mind, this is a paper trade. I don't have any money at risk in this. But it's just an interesting example of what a trader's life is really kind of like. And most people, imagine all the people that shorted Tesla stock. Keep in mind, there are a lot of fat cats, very, very deep pocket people that still have open shorts on Tesla, expecting it to go down. So this is actually a very typical example of what happened. Now, I would recommend, if you are going to short something, you define where you actually are wrong. Some of those people are short Tesla from like $300 a share, and you know where it is right now. So that's a great analogy of, maybe define where you're wrong, and when the market proves you're wrong, just get the fuck out. Anyway, so left scratching heads with uppy bond markets. Gold market, of course, in a weird sort of way, I've talked to you about this before. Personally, I think we've hit an upside objective here. Could this thing go on further? Sure, it can do any old damn thing it wants. Am I in this trade? Nope. In fact, I got out of most of my gold positions when I saw this. I have all my free little VCIM names. So if gold does want to keep going, I mean, geez, some of these names are ridiculous. I noticed, actually, wasn't that interesting? This guy hasn't been performing too much lately, so this was one of our VCIMers from a while ago. That's where they rolled the stock back there. This thing used to be a gazillion dollars higher, so maybe they're getting ready to take him up. But some of these metal names just look so cute, but they're flying right now, so you can't buy them. It's too late. Remember that Sky, right? I mean, I don't know what this guy's going to do. But, he is a gold name, so if they want to take the gold price higher, I'll sell more when it doubles again. And I got a couple of these things on the books. Jugger, actually interesting. Jugger, We don't need to get into all that. Anyway, I just wanted to show you that there are a couple of these little gold stocks. This is what I have left on in the space. Here's another one, Timberline. Already sold half on a double, so I mean you can see they're taking it higher. If they want to keep taking it higher, great. I'll sell more stock higher. I suppose twist my rubber arm. I mean, this is the kind of market that we're in. I mean, can I come in and buy something like that right there? No fucking way. Am I going to be selling as they take these things higher? Sure. I mean, look at this insanity. What the hell is going on here? But you can see I've got my order ready. If they want to keep taking it higher, I might be banging out another double here today. And actually, this is probably a good dovetail to where I really want to go with sort of today's conversation with you guys. I like to trade setups where I can sort of define where I'm right or wrong. Now, that might be like a ranging setup, where I'm going to buy this W here, looking for reload zone tags. Ding, 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 got my fill. Or it might be a trending setup, and this is a great one because you get both. Nice range, and now, well, maybe we're not ranging anymore. Maybe we're going to start to trend, and we get great setups. But hopefully you see where I'm buying, right? You know, Brian and his bots, 3 higher lows and double the bottoms. Okay, awesome, fine. You know, great stuff. I mean, I think we got in down. Actually, I think Kevin said he got in. Actually, did you miss this one? I think Kevin might have missed this one, but I think I bought in off of this double one.
No. I'm on
you're
for
in
49.
This. Oh.
Excuse me, I can't even talk. I'm all choked up.
Yeah, there. Sorry, sir. Sorry, sir.
No, I'm in it. I'm in it.
Yeah, my apologies. My apologies.
No, I got along for 49 cents on that.
Yeah, and actually through his presentation today, he's kind of like, I'm getting interested. I want to buy this thing. Anyway, point of the matter here is hopefully everybody sees the W. Okay, we're coming in here. We're not going to come in and buy here. What are you, on drugs? And this is what really bothers me about this stock market right now, is that there are people that are coming in on names that have already popped. TRIers are selling those into those rallies, and people are coming out into the public and saying, oh yeah, I love this, buy it, buy it, buy it. You're walking into a trap. It just, it kills me. And, they got like millions of social media, and they're just so cool, and, they eat the right foods, and they listen to the right music, and they, say the right words, and they're politically correct, and everybody loves them, and they make millions of bazillions of dollars. And yet, are they really making good investment decisions? Oh, God. This has got disaster written all over it. So, anyway, like I said, 2020, this might be my swan song where keep in mind, I'm making great money. I'm having a lot of fun here, but trying to talk logical sense to the public right now and through this time period, this might actually be a great way for me to just sort of slowly finish all this work with the public and head off into the hills, because I don't think they're listening to logic right now. And the market's not listening to logic, and I kind of think that's a function of what we're, this big transitional cycle that we're going through. And you got to expect that through these cycles. That's the worst part about this, is that this is actually exactly what's supposed to happen. People are supposed to go crazy. Wonderful. Oh, well, it is what it is. Gold. It's interesting. People were putting upside objectives of like 2,300. Fuck, I could see gold, in this kind of insanity, I could see it go up to 4,000 or 5,000. No problem. Probably even be a lot higher than that by the end of this. But anyway, am I coming in on the buy side here? No. Oh, well. All right. So, interestingly enough, stocks, all this funny business going on in the big stock market, how it's moving up, and the oil market and the bond market and the gold market, everything just moving up. But interesting how the one indicator here that I would trust to sort of tell me about the health of the demand for junior stocks, it's kind of just, it hasn't really moved much here. And kind of like shit perps and all that kind of stuff, we're up in nosebleedy territory, and if we had to take a little while and clean all this up, I think that would be normal. But could we work our way a bit higher here? Sure, why not? Hey, it's actually, the perfect analogy of this bar stool guy is Dan Blazarian. If anybody was in the crypto space and is watching this video, this is exactly the same as when Dan Blazarian came in and bought, and I remember his tweet, bought a shitload of Bitcoin. And then, like, 2 or 3 days later, a bit of volatility comes into the market. And he's like, holy fuck, get me the hell out of here. I don't want anything to do with this. And that was at like 3 or 4,000. Of course, it went up to 20 G's. So Mr. Barstool is exactly like Mr. Blazarian. It's identical. It's quite shocking. But anyway, good luck to Mr. Barstool. I hope he does well. I just hope he doesn't get sued. And actually, we were kind of talking about this. I mean, what kind of legal liability does Mr. Barstool actually carry here? Because there is a name that he touted yesterday, and I got a funny feeling all the people that he touted this to, they are all trapped. He did the big tout in here. You see today's price action. They are all officially trapped now. Of course, DRI, you saw banging out doubles. Hell, we sold into his tout. Awesome. I mean, Yobit used to do this. They'd have like, okay, we're officially pumping this coin on Thursday at 4 o'clock. And I'm like, okay, cool. Hopefully they're pumping into my sell orders. Man, we used to get off some crazy-ass trades into those pumps. Well, they're doing the same thing in the stock market. And, you guys have been watching these videos long enough. Look at this chart. What the fuck are you doing coming in on the buy side here? This is insanity. Like, what the hell? So if anything, I'd love to see this crap right out. And I'd actually like to see Mr. Barstool realize that this game of investing is a lot harder than he's assuming it is. Anyway, only time will tell, and I'm sure I'm going to get a bunch of downvotes over all that rant. Heading on over to the corn. Obviously, we had our big fundamental event on ETH today. Woohoo! Actually, we were up at about 6 o'clock this morning watching the event happen. And it was a big hurry up and do nothing. The only problem here is red boxes. Is this buy levels or sell levels? Oh boy. Notice they dumped it and then the counter trend rally was right into a sell level and we've just stopped here. I'm not really saying it's a short, although I am very interested. Told my boys we're actually moving out, like I showed you on the Dow and the S&P. We're looking at March options now. So if I can, I actually want to start thinking about I was looking at December's. Now I want to look at March's. I do like the idea of buying puts. I don't really want to try and quote-unquote time this top. All I want to simply say is, if I think out like 3 or 4 months from now, is it likely that we're going to hear wrecked talk? Is it likely that we're going to hear tax loss selling talk? I don't know, but I think the odds are high. I followed this one trading model from this guy taught me it back in the 1980s. Just simply, and I basically use it for sight people and in our options modeling. The general rule of thumb is markets like to retrace 50% of their previous move on an annual basis. So now, interestingly enough, if we go back 52-week range, we're now actually, that's a realistic low to use. And now 52-week high, probably would have used that one in the past, or I guess that one. Now we can use this one. So there's our range. My hunch is some point over the next, let's say 6 months, we're probably going to be trading back down to value high, back down in this traffic area, back against this trend line, 50% tags, blah, 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 blah. You've heard me say this a gazillion times before. And in fact, the really cool level that I would love to see, which I think is going to be sort of the buy of a lifetime, is whatever this top is, the Mountain Man level. Interesting how that would be right along this trend line as well. So, have we, quote unquote, topped? Yeah, I don't think so. Usually I like to see nice divergences come in on things like momentum indicators. They have a bit of a divergence there in the volume. Remember we did that sort of tutorial in the Broiler Chicken show about divergences in volume? Maybe this sets up some sort of head and shoulders. I don't know. But I don't have a divergence in MACD yet. I don't have a divergence in RSI yet. Willie is officially stupidly overbought, so I can't be a buyer. Absolutely no ifs, ands, or buts. Well, maybe one big but that's Brian's butt. So right now I'm just sort of frozen. There's really nothing I can do, and I just have to be patient. Maybe this creates continuation and we start working our way higher, but I gotta, wicks and tails like to be eaten. You can see the size of that tail. My hunch is now there's no fundamental event in front of us. Wicks and tails like to be eaten. They brought the market up, released all these trap bulls. There's no reason why we can't travel back down and visit all these trap bears in here. So, unfortunately, same thing with Bitcoin. I mean, they basically look the same. Bitcoin's run up into key resistance. We've got Colin's old channel. We've got this low to high trend line. We've got Brian's thank you very much for insulting me 6 months ago because I had the audacity to put a chaos level that suggested we could get up into 11,500 area here. Well, gee whiz, that's exactly where we are right now. This, sadly, it kind of looks like a diamond top up here. So, I mean, if we're lucky and we can jump back into this trend channel, well, hey, we got some serious upside here. But I don't know. That's looking awfully heavy. Let's see. Do we have any signs of divergence on this recent push up? Nothing out of RSI yet. We got the volume div. You can see there just wasn't that much buying interest over here. And MACD hasn't dived out. In fact, actually, you could see a nice little perk up against these highs. That might be the div that I'd love to see. Notice how it did it here. You see how it worked up to new highs? MACD did not go to new highs. And right, it turns out this didn't actually fail. But this is the kind of sign that I would sort of say, okay, well, probably the up move is done. So we don't have that div yet. So that's kind of good. A little bit of a div in volume bars. No breakdown in OBV. RSI still sort of, do I want to break down? Do I not want to break down? I don't know. And then as we said before, Willie is officially stupid. So there's no reason. I can't be a buyer here. I just can't. So fortunately, that's the state of the market right now. Stuff that I own, I'll be more than happy to sell at double, triple, quadruple my purchase price. Not really too interested in buying anything. The only thing I am interested in buying, which is kind of cool, is I want to try and pick up some Dash down in here. For some reason, I think that it's just been overlooked through this whole cycle. I could see it swim around against these lows for a while, so there isn't really any hurry here. I picked up a little bit the other day. Got some more bids working down below, and I kind of like this auger. Nice little bottom. See if I can get some fills down there. Then, like I said before, if I did want to be a buyer of Ethereum, really I want that Mountain Man pullback. I don't know if I'm going to get it or not. I'll tell you, if you're interested in Charlie's basically still a little bit above his breakout level. But any kind of pullback back down into this bottom, I think Charlie's telling you, hey, maybe take a good look at me. So he's about 50, 60 bucks right now, and the breakout was like 50, so, maybe about 20% lower. Kind of like that too. If we saw a 20% haircut in Ethereum, that would take us back down to 300, which I think is realistic. And 10-20% haircut on the corn, that would take us down to 9,000 area. That sounds like a half decent level. So that's sort of what I'm thinking right now. Actually, that would take us right down into this key support, the original breakout. That seems perfectly logical to me. So I don't know whether today's video offering was really much benefit to you. Sure hope you got some value out of that. Slow and steady wins the race. 2020, what a mess. I'm probably just going to build my little VCIM screener list and just be hunting away on those names. Like I said, trying to buy some value there in crypto and a couple names. Picking up some insurance policies as we go along here, heading into the fall. Got some insurance on the Canadian dollar, some Bitcoin, some Ethereum, some S&P 500, and I bought some of the dog ETF as well. So that's another bear ETF. Not huge amounts of money, hundreds of dollars. I think actually I put 1,000 into that dog. That sounds good. Put 1,000 into the dog. But, bottom end of the range, double bottoms, looks logical to me. So, like I said, I went and picked up like $1,000 worth of this. Big fucking deal. We get any sort of failure into the fall, into the election, any kind of move up into here, it's just a good insurance policy to have on the books. So, okay, I think I'll leave the free video at that today. Hope you got some value out of it. PMA for the win. Going to be a pretty interesting slog here over the next 6 months. Slow and steady wins the race. Try not to get suckered into buying touts, especially when you pull up the chart and they look like this. This just really, it's everything opposite of what I do as a professional in this business. And I can see this is going to end in heartbreak and disaster for people. So don't chase. You all know that. Buy the W's. When they pump them, you sell into their pumps and take advantage of kind of what I would consider irrational investing. Okay, have yourselves a great day. All the best, and bye for now.